Okay, guys, it's time to be honest. I really can't do this anymore. I suppose I need a little more explanation. First of all, that I haven't been doing a lot, and I've been ignoring that, telling myself that it's gonna pick up, that I'm gonna pick up, that I'm gonna be able to do more. But it's not fair to lie to you. It's one thing to lie to myself, but I'm lying to all my fans, and it's not fair. I back in November, I got a new job, and the situation with my new job is that from about 7 a.m. on Monday until about 8 p.m. on Friday, I have no access to my editing equipment or recording equipment. The only access I have to anything resembling a computer at all is my smartphone. I really am only able to work on my videos one full day a week. And that one full day is also the only day I can do my laundry, the only day I can do the dishes, the only day I can clean around the house, the only day I can do my grocery shopping, the only day, God forbid, if my family or my friends want to get together, I won't be able to do anything for 2 weeks straight if something like that happens. And it happens a lot, you know? And I told myself I would catch up during, I had some days off during Christmas, but I got sick twice consecutively, and then I went to a con. I've just not been able to keep up even with the minimal workload I've been getting myself. I haven't been doing anything on my channel for quite some time. But even what I have been doing it takes so much effort. And I told myself I could get over it. I could still release, one video a month, or if I work 5 hours every week on my videos, maybe I can get it done. And if that's what I did, then maybe I could. But I kept telling myself I had to have the strength of Dr. Wolf. The fact of the matter is, I'm not Dr. Wolf, and I can't pretend to be Dr. Wolf. I can't put that much effort into video editing. I wish that I could. I wish that I had the capability. I wish I had the equipment, because I don't have a laptop anymore. My laptop died years ago. I cannot afford a new one. The current desktop that I'm using is over 8 years old and can barely stand having two programs open at a time. You know, it's hard. And and I've got a lot of different responsibilities, and I just feel like I'm keeping people out on a limb more than I should. I've also got a lot of things I've got to record. That takes up a lot of my time too, because people want me in their projects, and I love being in people's projects, and I love being able to record lines for them when I can. But again, I don't have access to my microphone for more than one full 24-hour period a week. And and I use that, and I do, and I want to be part of projects, so I'm not sitting here saying you won't see me in TF2. I'm not sitting here saying that you may not see me in some, as he calls it, Nightmare Night Crew stuff, you know. But the main thing I really feel I can no longer promise within a timely capacity are videos that I've edited. That's the thing I really feel I can no longer promise anytime soon. I kept telling myself I'll do it every week. Well, that hasn't happened in years. Kept telling myself, oh, well, at least one a month. I haven't done that either. I've had this video that I've been trying to work on for almost half a year. I've been working on this video. It was supposed to be a Christmas special. It was supposed to be out 4 months ago. And again, I got sick. I got sick again. I went to a con, and then I just no longer had time to work on it. I even tried hiring artists to try and take the load off of it, and it just made things more complicated. And I don't think I'm ever going to release that video. I thought of making a sort of irony thing about how late it is, but it's even past that. I don't think I'm ever going to... I'm obviously going to pay the artists who did try to give me their lovely art. including Jessie Cat and Stardust. They gave me their work, and I loved it, but I just couldn't get around to the video. But I don't want to disappear forever, nor do I want to never ever make a video again. I might. I can no longer make seasonal videos, really. That's something I just can't do, because I can't really can no longer put a time restraint on my videos. I just can't. The video may easily take a year. Very easily. You know, with how little time I have to work on videos. That's very likely. But I don't want to sit here and say, yeah, just sit there for years until I have my video. So rather, I'm going to release my scripts. I'm going to release them either on DeviantArt or maybe I'll even start using my Tumblr. I don't know. But I'm going to release my scripts so at least I get all these thoughts that are in my head out, and I feel like I'm being productive, because that's the thing that's really been killing me, is I've had all these ideas and I just have not had the time to work on them. And I know what a lot of you are thinking, because they've said it to me before. Hire an editor. Sounds great on paper, but here's the problem. Problem number one is that I can't hire an editor. I do not have the money to hire an editor. You know, I'm currently making half minimum wage. Full-time hours, half minimum wage. I don't have the money, you know, and then, you know, people are like, well, you know, maybe it'd be a friend or someone who'd do it pro bono. And that wouldn't make it worse for me, really, because then I'm not giving this person anything. I'm taking credit for this person's work. It doesn't sit right with me. You know, they're not that I'm taking credit like I'm saying, oh, it's all my editing, you know. Maybe I'll say, oh, edited by so-and-so. But I'm still the one getting the fame while they're really doing all the work. I mean, I write the scripts, I say my lines, but I'm not doing any of the editing work. Then I'm just doing the same thing I do for the Nightmare Night Crew stuff. You know, I'm not the animator. I don't claim to be. But I do try to be a video editor. And another thing that would also be a problem is if it was someone who was doing things pro bono for me. It'd be hard for me to demand a certain amount of quality that I'd want to demand. I'd want to demand someone who could at least edit to my skill level. I mean, my skill level is not the best in the world. But, you know, I would at least want it to kind of look like my stuff. I wouldn't want it to be lesser quality than what I would be able to make for myself if I had the time, basically. And if I got someone who didn't quite meet that, then one of two things will happen. Either I won't say anything because I'd be too embarrassed because this person's doing all of this out of their kindness of their heart, and I don't feel I'd have a right to speak up. And then I'd just be releasing work of an inferior quality than I would have been able to release myself if I had the time. Or I'd do the opposite, and I'd get all, you know, Nazi on them, and I'd demand that they do better, demand that they do this, and then of course, the poor person not getting any accolade or money is being subject to my standards, which is not fair for them. And I wouldn't want to do that to a friend or a stranger. And it also, you know, it just hurts my pride, because I felt like these were all these videos were pretty much my own creation. The only things that weren't were my OC, which was the current OC I'm using, was made by Thunderblur. And some of the images, obviously, usually I get them from Google or DeviantArt or from the wiki page of MLP. And of course, clips are similarly not my work. But I always took pride in the fact that I wrote scripts, and I recorded the lines, and I edited the video. This was my work that I was putting out. And collaborations, obviously, changed that up a bit. But I don't want my channel to be like another of the Nightmare Night Crew, where I write the script, I record the lines, and then I just sit back and have someone else do the hard part. Nor do I want, God forbid it's anything like the TF2 project where I don't even really get that much of a say in the script. I mean, I did if I had an issue with the script, but usually I just record the lines and that's all I do. And there's no shame in that, I suppose I'd have more pride in it if I felt like I was a voice actor. I'm not really a voice actor. I don't consider myself a voice actor. People say I am. But I have a hard time identifying as a voice actor, mainly because I'm not really acting. Well, I'm acting to a point. But I'm not changing my voice much. Like, I'm just talking normally for the most part. I have a slight character voice that I do subconsciously. But, if I were doing, if I were given a script and recording lines and I was doing, I don't know, Bon Bon or something, I'd feel more like that was me working. But me voicing my OC, that's not me working. That's just me being me, and I just feel like I'm not giving enough. And I'm at that point where I just feel like I can't give enough, and yet I have so much to give, but I'm no longer in a position where I can do so a lot. At all. I wasn't doing a lot before. I'm not going to pretend that I was. But this also means this changes things a lot for my patrons. God bless them. They have been very patient. While my life has just spiraled. But I can't really do the same thing. I can't have the broadcast that I promised them. I can't make the videos that I promised them. Luckily, I've never had to. Luckily, no one's ever asked me to make a video and I haven't delivered. But I fear that. I fear that someone says, hey, make a video on such and such. And then I don't deliver on that, And I mean, it's hard for me to let people down. It really is. So ironically, I think the best bet for me is to lower the expectations of myself, for myself, and of others' expectations of me. Because it's not fair for me to go on pretending that I'm going to be more than I am, because I'm not. And, so I think I have to change my Patreon rewards to maybe a private call rather than a public one, because like I said, my computer can't handle things like live streaming. I can't have live stream programs on my computer. My computer can't even handle Steam. Literally, I had to take Steam down from my computer. I can't play any of the games I used to play. I can barely have my browser open at the same time as my Skype. That alone is really hard on my computer, so I can't do anything fancy outside of a private Skype call. And I can still have people request subjects for me to cover, and maybe one day I'll make a video of it, maybe. But I can't promise them that a video will be made, nor as I used to promise that it would be made within the month. I can't promise that anymore, but if there's a topic someone wants me to talk about, I can talk about it in text, and perhaps one day get around to making a video about it. And I think that's sort of what I'm going to do now. I'm going to release scripts for videos that I will want to do someday. Maybe I'll never be able to get around to it. It's a real possibility. But I want to feel like I've done something. I've gotten something out. And I know I'm going to lose a lot of subscribers because of this. But I feel sad to say, but I don't care. I mean, I love my subscribers to death, but I don't want you to wait around for something that may never come. And, I've gotten far more successful than I'd ever thought. Like, I'd only ever thought up to 3,000, and last I checked, I had like 4,500. And that's crazy. That alone. So, I already have more than I ever should, I feel, especially with how little I've been getting out. So that's sort of all I wanted to say, is I don't think you'll be seeing a lot of videos from me. I'm going to be putting a lot of my scripts on DeviantArt. I think I'm going to try and start up a Tumblr, see how Tumblr works. I still haven't figured out how Tumblr works. That's why I don't tumble. I'll put the links for those in the description of this video, as well as, links to my Twitter. I should probably make a Facebook page, huh? I have a Facebook, but it's a private Facebook. I don't want to link my brony life to it, so I might make a separate one for Sweetie Bloom, as it were. I'll have to have someone introduce me to the brony Facebook community. I really have not been on Facebook lately at all. If there are any other social media stuff you want me to get on, I'll do that. In regards to the strike I talked about in my previous video, I will still try to maybe post some videos on YouTube, but I'm going to actually try and transfer a lot of them to Dailymotion. And if I remember what the heck my Dailymotion account is, I will also post that in the description of this video. But yeah, so that's sort of what I wanted to say, in that you'll both be seeing more from me and less from me at the same time. You'll be seeing more content, but less videos. Well, actually, frankly, the same amount of videos as I've been giving, but less expectation, shall I say, is really all this is. Less expectation. If there was any, if anyone was holding out hope, like I was, that I could ever actually be productive, just kind of dousing that now. Also, again, want to ask and beg forgiveness of my my patrons, and, ask if I can change up the broadcast that I promised them to a Skype call once a month, which I definitely can do. That much I have in my power to do. And I'll still, that's for the second tier. First tier will stay the same, that I try to keep you guys up to date, and I know, ironically, this will be my way of keeping you up to date. But the first tier will stay the same, that I keep you up to date. The second tier may have to just change to Skype call, or Skype group and Skype call. And third tier will be that you can tell me a topic to cover, but I cannot make a full video, or I cannot promise to make a full video in a month. So, yeah, I apologize that, life has happened, and I keep letting it happen. And I think that's the end of it, because there are people with, I'm sure, bigger computer problems, bigger scheduling problems, that could do a lot better than I can. But I'm weak, and it's not fair for me to keep pretending that I'm strong. So, thank you for your support. If you continue to subscribe to me, I fully appreciate it. Again, I will try to release videos as often as I can. Again, I'm not really not releasing them as often as I used to. I'm just no longer promising that one of these days I'll be better. Because I can't make that promise anymore. It's a pie crust promise. Easily made, easily broken. Thank you all for your support.